welcome back to In and Around North Bay. And today we are in New York City. Specifically, we're in the Bronx, and we're here in Little Italy to check out some of the delis and bakeries that this place is famous for. Specifically, I wanted to go to Mike's Deli, which is in this larger complex place that has a lot of little delis and bakeries and bars, because Mike's Deli is really one of the centers of Italian culture here in the Bronx. There was lots of people online speaking Italian, arguing about the prices, trying to get a little more. Just a perfect slice of life of what it must be like to live in this area here in the Bronx. And you think we're going to come all this way and not eat some of that meat and cheese? Get out of here. Of course we did. And in fact, everyone in the family, they just ate it right off the plate. It was so good, so fresh, so awesome. Mike's Deli, I'll be back someday. We also wanted to go to Madonia Bakery. They sell lots and lots of different pastries. As you can see here, there's a big line, so you better know what you want when you get up to the counter. And eventually, we made our way into Manhattan itself because we've got our museum reciprocal pass, and one of the museums on that list is the Museum of New York City. This museum, just like a bunch of other ones on our trip, is part of that North American reciprocal system, so we were able to get in for free. And it's a great museum, especially because if you're going to go to New York, you want to learn about this jewel of a city. How did it become what it is? And this museum does a great job of doing that. Our hotel was actually just right around the corner from Central Park and right above this restaurant here, Rosa Mexicano, where we stopped to get a few cocktails for happy hour because we were going out for the evening with the kids and got on the subway, made our way downtown, stopped to get some pizza. Not the best pizza, but it was okay. We're going to get some really good pizza later in this trip because that evening we were going to the Empire State Building. And to me, this is the most beautiful building in all of New York. I love the Art Deco style. I love the history behind it. And it had been quite a while since I've actually gone into the Empire State Building itself. And I feel they've really improved the experience. It really is a walk through history on what it took to actually build this place. All the films and movies that have featured this building, just how it sits as this iconic piece of the city. So even though it is quite expensive, I thought was quite worth it. And it takes you a decent amount of time. It was about 2.5 hours for us to go through the entire experience, going through the building, going up those elevators, and eventually getting onto the deck where you can look out over New York City. I don't think it's possible to get all the way up to the Empire State Building, look out over that city at night, and not be in awe. It's something every single person, they've got to do at least once. But this was not the last stop for our evening here in New York. We wanted to go to Rockefeller Center. We wanted to check out Times Square. And of course, it was Christmas time, so it is incredibly packed. Everyone's taking pictures. Everyone wants to get onto that ice skating rink. We didn't do the ice skating, but we were at least able to enjoy the ambiance. Next morning, we were going to get on that ferry and we're going to go out to the Statue of Liberty, a place I've been a few times, which I think is fine. If you've never been there, it's definitely some tourist location you want to visit. But I really think it's Ellis Island, which you're able to visit on that same tour, that's really worth the price of admission. This, of course, is this historic building where a lot of folks coming in from Europe and Africa and elsewhere kind of went through to become citizens and part of this country. And they have a really great experience where you can look up the names of your family members for a small fee and see when they arrived and what boat they were on. Very, very cool. And of course, you get some great views of the skyline. So we had a lot of pizza in New York, but the best pizza that we had was Bleeker Street Pizza. And this is one of those iconic spots. It's on lots of people's lists of the best pizza in New York. And it also just feels like New York, at least to someone who's not from here, where they're yelling at you at the counter. You better know what you want when you order. And the pizza, of course, was great. It's understandable why so many folks were waiting in line. So we all left full and content. And even though it was pretty cold, New York was beautiful this day. I mean, it was clear skies. Everyone was out in the park. We wanted to walk through and see as much of the park as possible. My kids have been really interested in the Beatles recently, and of course they understand that John Lennon was killed here in Central Park. And there's actually a spot commemorating him. Some folks playing Beatles music, of course, right there. It was picturesque, it was beautiful. Of course, I enjoyed every moment of it. But eventually, we got back to our hotel here, right around the corner from the park. Went to see the largest menorah in the world, because of course it was also Hanukkah at this time. And we were getting ready to leave the city, head off to our next location. But gosh, what an amazing place. It's not like I need to tell you to go to New York City at least once in your life, but I hope this inspired you to do so. Until next time.